For 12 years, humanity had endured it all with diplomatic grace. Ambassador Kenji Tanaka had sat through countless council sessions, listening to species after species mock Earth's primitive culture, backwards social systems, and juvenile approach to governance. He'd smiled politely when the Vraxians called humans barely sentient apes. He'd nodded calmly when the Centauri dismissed human art as childish scribbles. Earth's policy was clear: prove worth through actions, not words. Let them talk while humanity built, discovered, and innovated. The insults were just noise. Until today. Council Prime Zelkorax lounged in his crystalline throne, addressing the assembly with his usual condescension. And now we come to the human petition for increased representation, he announced, mandibles clicking in what passed for laughter among his species. Though I question whether a species that still clings to concepts like love and compassion deserves any voice at all. Such emotional weakness has no place in serious governance. Around the chamber, various species chittered and hummed their agreement. The Vraxians, who'd abandoned familial bonds millennia ago, were particularly amused. The Centauri, who'd engineered emotions out of their species, radiated smug superiority. Tanaka's hands tightened on his data pad, but he remained seated. Not yet. Humans claim to value all life, Zelkorax continued, warming to his subject, yet they weep over the death of individual beings. They write poetry about loss. They create art about feelings. The word dripped with contempt. They even maintain something called families, biological groups that serve no economic purpose. How can such an irrational species contribute meaningfully to galactic civilization? The chamber erupted in derisive sounds. The Thranaxians, a hive-mind species, found the concept of individuality particularly hilarious. Tanaka stood slowly. The chamber didn't quiet, they barely noticed. If I may, he said softly, but something in his tone made Zelkorax pause. Oh, by all means, human. Enlighten us. Tanaka activated his holodisplay. You mock our emotions. Our weakness. So let me share some data. In the past decade, which species has made the most significant scientific breakthroughs? Numbers appeared. Humanity led by a staggering margin, advances in medicine, physics, artificial intelligence, and quantum mechanics. Which species, Tanaka continued, his voice growing harder, has the highest volunteer rate for dangerous exploratory missions? More data. Humans again, by triple the nearest competitor. Which species has taken in the most refugees from war-torn worlds, asking nothing in return? The display showed human colonies sheltering millions from dozens of species. Some in the chamber shifted uncomfortably. You want to know why? Tanaka's voice cut through the silence. Because we love. Because we care. Because when a human sees suffering, something in us demands we act. You call it weakness? We call it strength. He changed the display. Images appeared, human medics working in plague zones, human engineers rebuilding shattered worlds, human teachers educating refugee children from 100 different species. You engineered out your compassion and called it evolution, Tanaka said, looking directly at Zelkorax. You abandoned your families and called it efficiency. You removed every irrational emotion and convinced yourselves you'd achieved perfection. He paused. Then why, in 10,000 years of your superior civilization, have you accomplished less than humanity has in 50? The silence was absolute. You know what the real difference is? Tanaka asked quietly. We don't just calculate the most logical course. We dream. We hope. We love something enough to fight for it, die for it, sacrifice for it. You call that primitive? Fine. But that primitive species has surpassed every one of you in the ways that actually matter. He gathered his materials. Humanity withdraws its petition. We don't need your council's approval anymore. We'll continue doing what we do best, building, creating, and caring, while you sit here debating which species is most efficiently emotionless." He headed for the exit. Good luck governing a galaxy you don't actually care about. The door closed behind him. Within a year, 17 species, the younger ones, the ones who'd been quietly watching, followed humanity's example. They left the Council and formed the Compassionate Alliance, built on principles the advanced species had forgotten: empathy, cooperation, and the radical idea that caring about others wasn't weakness. It was the foundation of everything worth building. The old Council still exists, technically. But everyone knows the real power shifted the day humanity stopped staying quiet and reminded the galaxy what they'd lost by trying to eliminate their hearts.